Clayton, you're going to do a little show and tell for us. You have a couple of your favorite pieces here. Do you want to talk about them a little?
Yeah. These two pieces are typical of the sketches that I do, like we have open studio. The one on the left is of one of my students, Bob, and he sat for my friend Nancy and we were experimenting with what Richard Schmid called high-key painting. He had just finished a demonstration and we were all keyed up to try it out, and so we volunteered Bob for the job. And the point was to raise the darkest value up to a middle value and paint everything from middle range darker in one value. And then paint all of the upper values as you normally would, as you normally see them. And the added thing I did was that all of my mixtures were just two colors. So everything that you see, every stroke on there is either a one color or a two color, and the value was adjusted with white. In that way, I had to make absolute choices on temperature and what was in the light and what was in the shadow, on top of all those fun things of drawing and facial expression and composition and all those things. This one is a little more typical of me trying to experiment with more of a Victorian style of painting, where we have the dark luminous backgrounds, we have a very Italian-looking model that just reminded me of all of that Ottocento painting of the late 19th century. This is full value, so it's as dark and light as paint will go. I always keep it just slightly off of both of those so that I can still maintain a color. So you won't have anything that's just a pure white blob or a pure black blob, even though I can work into those value ranges. But everything has some kind of color in it, which means, again, just like the previous one, there's a decision to be made. What's in the light, what's in the shadow, where are my warms and cools based on the light source. Again, facial expression is a big deal with this one, though. More than color was. The color's not bad, but every bit of my thought was on the expression on the face. How to capture that immediacy of a model that is there and alive and breathing and communicating with me. So the contrast of these two is simply what I learned in school and how flexible that learning was. That's why I think that having a good fundamental education, a good basic understanding of drawing, values, composition, all of those things, plus then those technical skills of paint mixing and color use and design. As you get out of school, you have those tools, and then it becomes your job to make that your own. I no longer look like my teacher's work or my school's work. But I still have the remnants of all of that really good drawing and the ability to work from life in an expedient manner so that I can get something on the canvas that means something. And if I ever do run into trouble, if I've dug myself a hole, I can always revert back to those fundamentals. I can always just get the drawing right, then judge my values, then work on the edges. And I'm going to come up with something that's worthwhile. It may not be a great inspired masterpiece, but I'll get something down. And then there are days like this that are extra special, and that's why I picked these.